What about the woman with the wooden leg? I think this is the story that you were talking about, but if it's not the story that you were talking about, please let me know so that I can try to find the story that you were talking about so I can tell it on here. Anywho, this story is called The Drum, and it goes like this. There were two sisters, Sandra and Dolores, and they lived a peaceful life with their mother and their baby brother, Arthur. They lived by a great woods, and Sandra and Dolores would oftentimes roam through the woods during the day to have something to do. Well, one day, Sandra and Dolores were roaming through the woods when they came upon the nearest campsite. They noticed that there was a young girl around their age at this campsite, so they figured that they would go over to her and try to become friends. They went over to the girl and saw that she was playing on a drum, but this wasn't like any drum. This was a very special drum. When the girl would beat on the drum, two little mechanical people would come out of the drum and start dancing around it. Sandra and Dolores had never seen anything like this before, and they knew that they needed that drum. They asked the girl, "Please, can we have that drum? Please, please, please." The little girl said, "I'll give it to you under one condition. You have to be really bad, and then you can come back tomorrow and I'll give you the drum." So Sandra and Dolores went home, and they were on their worst behavior. They started writing all over the walls with crayons, and when dinner time came, they spilled all of their food. The next day, they went back to the campsite and saw the little girl, and they told her, "We were so bad yesterday. We spilled all of our food and we wrote on the walls in crayons. Can we please have the drum?" Then the little girl said, "That's all you did? You need to be way worse than that. If you be worse tonight, you can come back tomorrow and I'll give you the drum." The girls went back home and they were even worse than before, and soon their mother started crying and saying that she couldn't deal with this anymore. She said she wanted her daughters back, and if they didn't change their behavior, she would have to leave. And she would be replaced with a different mother, a mother that had glass eyes and wooden tail. The next day, the two girls went back to the campsite, and the little girl with the drum told them that they need to be even worse. So Sandra and Dolores made their way back home, but when they got home, their mom wasn't there, and neither was their baby brother Arthur. The two girls thought they probably just went to the store, they'll be back soon. So they went and played in the woods and expected their mom and baby brother to be back home by the time they got home later that day. When they went back home later that day, the lights were on, and there was a fire in the fireplace. But there was one thing that was a little bit off. They looked through the windows and saw that their mother was in the house sweeping, only this wasn't their mother. This mother had glass eyes and a wooden tail. And every time she moved to sweep a corner of the room, the girls could hear the wooden tail thumping on the floor.
The story takes place back in 1999, allegedly. According to the woman who told this story, this allegedly happened on A Small World, which is already the creepiest ride in the entire park. I don't want to hear any shit. She kind of vividly remembers riding that ride, and then someone came over the intercom and they said, "Please exit the ride, attendants will help you, and keep looking forward." She remembered that keep looking forward seemed strange. Now, her mom had been taking pictures on this ride, right? And she just had to finish out the role if she was going to get it developed, so she just started snapping pictures. One of those pictures happened to be of the ceiling. This is all I'm going to do, just my T-zone and my cheeks, I guess. Holy shit, literally won't go up their face. Okay, so basically they got off the ride and they never really found out, what happened that day. Alright, let's get into part 2. I've been at a Spotify event all day, so I feel like I've been in the sun and I need a lot of TLC on my skin. The last story took place in A Small World with the mom who kind of finished out the role of her camera, right? You remember in that story, she pointed the camera up towards the ceiling and she captured something she did not expect. So the day kind of finishes out and nobody ever really knew what happened, why they were escorted off of A Small World until they looked at that camera roll. So I kind of sheared this one down because it was really thick last time and it took forever to dry. The strangest thing that they noticed right away was that there appeared to be a pair of red overalls above them. Anybody who knows about A Small World, you know that the old uniform from the 90s was red overalls. Legend has it what they saw above them and captured on camera was an employee who was dangling. The creepiest part about this, there is allegedly a picture online that shows the red overalls and proves the legend.
So a couple of days ago on Live, somebody asked me if I've had any paranormal experiences, and I actually told a story that wasn't from me, it was from my brother while we were at my grandma's. This is a picture of her foyer. Just to give some familial context here, of me and my other siblings, my brother is the least theatrical, I guess. He doesn't tell stories, he doesn't embellish, he He doesn't do stuff like this, which is why I fully believe this. So anyway, we're at my grandma's one night, I'm in the kitchen, he's in the TV room, and if you look to the left when you're in the TV room, this is exactly what you see. You see the foyer leading to the front door, and you see on the right the archway leading to the living room. Suddenly, he starts screaming and panicking, and he is yelling that there is an old man in the house who is in the living room. So what he said he saw was an old man dressed in white with long white hair peering from around this archway right here. But we flipped the house upside down. We never found anything. And to this day, my brother doesn't like to talk about this. New creepy hotspots to save for your next road trip. Weatherford, Oklahoma is just as rural as it is scenic and a seemingly peaceful farm town. But the dark history behind this place is one that could give you chills. It's home to what's known as Dead Woman's Road. The story is that in 1905, a woman named Katie James and her 1-year-old had boarded a train to visit her cousin, but they never ended up making it. It was later discovered that a mysterious woman had led them off the train when it stopped right here in Weatherford. Within a month, the baby was found and the mysterious woman was located and brought in for questioning, but she poisoned herself before the police could get a motive. Not long after, the skeletal and fully clothed remains of Katie James were found in this very creek. Local legend has it that those who were here past sundown have claimed to hear a woman screaming through the dark nearby. And why the mysterious woman on the train chose Weatherford as her stop remains an unknown.
This next story was sent in by a viewer who would like to remain anonymous. So my mom at the time was illegal in the US, so she cleaned houses for a living. Since my father left us, I would sometimes go and help her. We went to this lady's house and my mom said gather all the trash from all the rooms. I did, and we went on the day cleaning. We often cleaned the lady's house and she then found out I would on occasions go and help my mother out. The lady one day was home, and when I was gathering up the trash she stopped me and said, "Gather the trash, but never go in this one specific room." I thought that was odd, but didn't think much of it. But one day my curiosity got the best of me, and I peeked in the room. The room was dark, filled with candles and a huge statue of some sort. And I saw a bed, and on the bed was a young man. I want to say around 16 or 17-ish maybe. I got so scared and closed the door, but as time went on, I opened the door and peeked inside. And this time I saw the guy sitting on the bed, hair covering his face, and he pointed at me and said, "Come in." I got so scared, closed the door, and left. I didn't tell my mom, but again, being the curious person I am, went back and opened the door. But the boy was not there. When I was about to close the door, he grabbed my wrist so tight, and then grabbed my arms, looked at me in the eyes, and said, "Necesito tu alma," which translates to, "I need your spirit or your soul." I didn't realize we were both hovering about a couple inches from the floor. I was so scared I closed my eyes and started praying. I fell to the ground and started to cry. My mom later on was let go and never went back. To this day I have a handprint on my wrist and have wondered, when I die, will I be cast to hell because of the mark on my wrist? The look in his eyes have forever been engraved in my eyes, that at times when I close my eyes I can see his. He took something from me that day. What do you think it is? It's hard to say.
This is no ordinary picture. Want to take a guess what's going on here? You can even take a pause and look at this picture really closely. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and if you like folklore, paranormal, or unsolved cases, or anything strange, you come to the right place. So to give some context, this user here on Reddit said that his friend's mom took a picture of her daughter wearing some shoes when they noticed something really creepy in the top corner of the picture. So if you look here in the corner, you can see that there is a person there in the corner, but there was no one in the house when this picture was taken other than herself and her daughter. Now here's a picture of Brighton. Someone pointed out that you can even see the legs in this figure. Some people said it was a cat, but I think that's insult to intelligence because that does not look like a cat. So what do you think? Was this a man? Was this a hoax? Is it a ghost? Let me know in the comment section.
possession caught on camera.
Possession videos are a no-no. It's like that's like a scary shit to watch.
Yeah, possession. I went to watch Pray for the Devil, and it was about possession. I felt very uncomfortable there.
Yeah.
But I still watch it because I'm a champ. But that shit felt uncomfortable.
Like every time I watch a possession video, I'm like so like cringing and eerie about it.
Like,
I
get bad vibes. I'm I literally go like this.
I don't like this audio.
I know the audio's going crazy.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Oh, George, that's a
It's
good one. Hold
crazy,
on.
I gotta take out my headphones real
bro.
quick.
I'm scared because what if someone pulls up on us?
I dove into this